Welcome to The Explainer. If you've been feeling, I don't know, perpetually exhausted lately, like you're working harder than ever, yet your savings account is just flatlining, well, you are in the exact right place. Today, we're conducting a ruthless, forensic audit of your daily expenses. We're going to uncover those invisible equations that are just quietly draining your future before you even get a chance to live it. Okay, let's dive into this.
So picture this for a second. It's the third of the month, you're totally exhausted from a long week, and you're just doing a quick check-in, casually scrolling through your banking app. And what do you see? It's just this long, endless list of tiny notifications. Ping, ping, ping. It's this absolute barrage of minor transactions that, they barely register individually, but collectively, they paint a very different picture of where your hard-earned money is actually going.
Bam! The first mosquito bite lands. It's a $15 charge for a streaming service you haven't even opened in weeks. You absolutely know the one I'm talking about. You signed up to watch that one specific show, binged it in a weekend, and totally forgot to hit cancel. $15. I mean, no big deal, right?
But wait, right beneath that, there's another bite. A $10 pro fee for an app you downloaded and used exactly once to edit a single photo. You probably thought you were signing up for a free trial, or maybe you just figured, hey, $10 is worth it for that one perfect picture. But now, it's hitting your account every single month like clockwork. And then, there it is, a $20 convenience fee for a monthly delivery subscription. When you look at these charges in isolation, they feel completely harmless. Individually, these low monthly payments feel like absolutely nothing. You can so easily justify them. But when we stack them up, something far more insidious is actually happening right under your nose.
And this brilliantly illustrates what we're truly facing here. You aren't just buying entertainment or a little bit of convenience. You are literally living under what we call a subscription siege. Your financial freedom is being systematically and predictably harvested by companies that have built their entire business models around profiting from your exhaustion. They absolutely know, you are too tired to track down every password and cancel every single service.
To really understand how we got here, we have to look at the fundamental lie of the modern economy. And it's this idea that low monthly payments somehow make life affordable. Guys, this is a brilliant psychological trick. These recurring charges are specifically designed to bypass what behavioral economics call the pain of payment. By keeping that number low and on autopilot, they successfully turn a single fleeting moment of satisfaction into a permanent, lifelong subscription.
Let's look at how this plays out in real life with a convenience tax. Imagine you're at the office late. Your brain is completely fried. The mere idea of going home and boiling water feels like a second job. So, what do? You hit order on a delivery app. Well, let's do a brutal audit of that exact transaction. You start with a base burrito for $20. Then you add a $5 service fee, a $10 delivery fee, and a $10 tip. Suddenly, that $20 burrito transforms into a $45 mathematical trap.
And how on earth do you justify this massive markup? You tell yourself, hey, I earned it. I worked really hard today. But in reality, you aren't rewarding yourself at all. You are actually spending the money to heal the damage that the job itself is inflicting on your psyche. You're bleeding cash just to recover from the sheer exhaustion of making the cash in the first place.
Okay, so let's transition into the terrifying math of this forensic audit. We really need to look at the small leaks. Most people look at a $5 daily coffee or a $15 monthly app and think, it's totally trivial, it's just pocket change. But we have to consider the compounding effect. What actually happens when you take that $5 a day and instead of handing it to a barista, you invest it at a standard 7% return over a 30-year period?
It turns into nearly $200,000. I mean, that is a massive visual gut punch. When you look at it through the lens of compound interest, you realize you aren't just drinking a latte. You are literally drinking away your retirement. You are sipping away decades of future freedom, $5 at a time.
This brings us to a really vital concept, the full system cost. See, when you sign up for a low monthly payment, you aren't just paying that specific fee. The true cost is the compounding opportunity cost of sacrificing your future wealth. A simple $12 app subscription doesn't just cost you $12. It actually represents a six-figure extraction from your future net worth. So the crucial point is understanding exactly how this affects your crossover point. Now, the crossover point is that magical moment in life where your investment income finally exceeds what you make at your day job. It's the exact moment you achieve total financial independence, but every single low monthly payment you accept acts like an anchor, pushing this vital crossover point further and further out of your reach.
But hey, here is the incredible flip side of that equation, driven by what financial planners call the 4% rule.
Every $100 you cut from your monthly expenses doesn't just put $100 back in your pocket today. By lowering your monthly baseline, you actually need $30,000 less in your total CH River portfolio to be able to retire. Cutting a tiny monthly expense immediately and drastically slashes the total mountain of money you need to finally escape the rat race.
Let's break down the math on this really quick. Let's say you have just 5 unused subscriptions. That's $50 wasted per month. Based on that 4% rule, that $50 a month represents a massive $15,000 chunk of freedom debt. That is 15 grand you are forced to keep working for, entirely because you haven't taken 15 minutes to sit down and audit your digital life.
And look, make no mistake, the whole system relies entirely on you being way too tired to do this math. Modern tech companies want you to be a passive consumer of your own life. You are stuck in a high-churn, low-margin business model where you are literally the resource being harvested. They rely on your exhaustion to keep you paying.
So, how do we actually fix this? Let's move to and see how this builds into a tactical 3-step escape plan to break this siege once and for all. We're going to create a buffer, strategically downgrade, and perform a manual pulse check.
Step 1. Create a buffer. You absolutely need to establish that first $1,000 of liquidity. Why? Because this allows you to stop playing defense and finally start playing offense. When you have a buffer, a small stumble, like a flat tire or some unexpected fee, doesn't force you into the predatory arms of the bank where it suddenly morphs into a 700% interest rate disaster.
Step 2 is practicing what we call strategic downgrading. You've got to stop buying into the designed identity that these marketing departments have so carefully crafted for you. Drive the older car, keep the 3-year-old phone, embrace a low-maintenance identity. Doing this lowers the required cost of your entire life and allows you to stack cash rapidly, rather than curating some sort of museum of expensive things you don't even have the time to use.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it perfectly summarizes our entire discussion. The rich are buying time while the poor are selling it at a discount. You must stop selling your life away $15 at a time. Your time and your future are worth so much more than some silly monthly convenience fee.
So, I'm going to leave you with this provocative challenge. When will you perform your own forensic audit? Look for those leaks, cut the vampire costs, and start aggressively widening that gap between your income and your expenses. Because that gap, that is exactly where your freedom lives. Seriously, do it this weekend. And if this explainer helped you see those low monthly payments for the traps they actually are, share it with a tired friend. And be sure to